So we had talked about this before, that they were players that, I mean, it was all over the social medias, right? Is that like Mehmet Aydin, Marcin Kaminsky, and Tobias Moore? They're not going to renew the contracts, right? So, I mean, you got Yuri Mulder here saying we spoke to Aydin, Kaminsky, and Tobias Moore last week and informed them that they won't be offered a new contract at Schalke as things stands. I think it's important to be open about these things. The lads can plan their future better if they know our plans. They will also still have the chance to impress over the coming weeks and show that they deserve a new contract. So originally, when the statement came out, the sentiment was, it seemed like, we're not bringing them back. We're done. We're cutting them off. Let the contracts be done and moving on for them, right? Um, and you read this quote here, and you kind of get that feeling there because it's like, see if they deserve a new contract. Is he talking about at new clubs or is he talking about at Schalke? Well, I think we heard a little bit further developments lately that their wages are too high, and Sky Dirk even mentioned this. He like cryptic tweeted this, it's like maybe their salaries are too high, and that's what Yuri Mulder is saying, right? And if they renegotiate, lower their contract demands, we can keep them there, right? Let's see if they're if they really want to be at Schalke, they're willing to take a little bit of cut, right? Let's see how it goes. I can see Iden probably doing that, but Kaminsky and more, I don't know, maybe Kaminsky. Now you look at these three players, right? You look at these three players and like, what value do they bring? Now we all love Mehmet Aydin, right? But has he reached his potential? We've talked this so many times over the years, Jack and I have, about like the players that we love so much, like the Bozdawans, I mean, you name all the players we got from the Kanap and Shivita that have come up that we're like hanging our hopes on. Ahmed Katuchu, right? Free Katuchu, Henning Matriciani, all these other guys that we had all these high hopes for, and it never quite panned out, right? Aiden's another one. We all love Mehmet Aiden, and we all remember that kung fu kick that he got us to get us promoted in that magical season with Toyota the first time. He's has these moments of brilliance. And you're like, yeah, that's my boy right there. But it's more of mediocre, average play. Doesn't get the job done where we expect or we are hoping. So it's just like, meh, right? And they're like, so like, you gotta kind of earn your play, and he hasn't been really earning it, honestly, right? It's been consistent, same, steady. So I guess there's that. He obviously went to Trabzonspor for a little bit and came back, but like, is he worth the high salary that supposedly he's gotten? I'd say no, right? I'd love to keep my dad, but he's got to take a pay cut. Is there potential with him? Yes, he needs more consistency, I think, and we have yet to see that. We get the moments of brilliance with him, gives us hope, all hope, but then it's he disappears. He disappears a lot, right? I talked about it last podcast, and we've talked about it before. Like the weak link in the starting 11, outside of the center back, really, it's at right wing. It's Mehmet Aydin, right? Bullet's been knocking it really well. All the other positions are fairly comfortable, honestly. It's Aydin's position that's been like up in the air, really. So I understand that one. Right now, moving to Marcin Kaminsky to start the season. Jack and I talked about like he ain't it, man. Like he had that magical year, where the year we got promoted back into the Bundesliga, but so slow. He's out of position all the time. Now we give him his credit already. Like the dude is a good passer. He's one of our best ball distributors, not only in defense but like in the entire team, right? And is that enough? No, it's not. At times, there's games and clubs that he can play against, and he can mask his inefficiencies, his deficiencies, because he makes these brilliant passes. He's got a decent set piece and stuff like that. But like he's slow. He gets beat a lot for pace. The position isn't that great. He makes a lot of silly errors defensively, whether he lets free kicks or open opportunities. You know, he's a Zweite level defender. We saw when he went up the Bundesliga, it's a struggle there, right? So I can see why there's no more. I think he's reached his potential, which was that year we got promoted. if you want to keep him around as a serviceable, I say that loosely, backup, sure, right? But he's got to take a massive pay cut. I could see him not sticking around, and I could see us not giving another contract, really. Toby Moore is the interesting one because, like, when we got him, obviously he came from Heidenheim. Frank Schmidt, the long tenured manager there, saying praises about Toby Moore. Says he's got a rocket of a left foot and he works tirelessly. And we saw a couple glimpses of that in his first couple seasons, but really it was mostly not. We're all mostly he was put in the wrong position, right? Playing left back, right? Being a vice for Thomas Oyan, and he's not a left back, right? You put Iden is another example. He started out as a right back, and I think he plays better as a winger up higher because that defensive responsibility doesn't need to be there because he's a little bit smaller player, and as is Toby Moore. So it wasn't a left back and did poor there, but now we starting to see him in the more attacking sense. I guess Carl Gerards kind of put him in there, and we saw him starting to flourish more. And this year, really, obviously had a banger in the first game of the season against Braunschweig, the first goal of the season. What a goal that was! And really, he's taken off since that. He's had a really good year, right? Now, if his wages are as high as they say they are, we can't deal with that. However, if he's willing to take a little cut and being guaranteed to have come off the bench or if not start games, obviously with the injuries, is probably a good thing to do. I'd gladly keep Toby Moore, right? Of the three, I think he's been offering us the most and most consistent out of all of them, right? He's had a hell of a season this year, right? He's up there. He's not having a bad season at all. By far his best season under us. I can't say how, compared to like the stuff he did at Heidenheim, but yeah, I think he's okay. He's probably reached his potential, but if he's going to produce consistently, why not? Why not? So I am all for re-signing Toby Moore with a much lower wage. So to kind of sum it all up, I'm on the fence about loving my heart, but like the wages got to come down. I'd keep him just because I like the guy. Kaminsky, ready to move on from him, right? And then Toby Moore, I'd keep him. Lower wages, obviously, still. So, yeah. So, I mean, now that we've heard more from Yuri Mulder with that caveat about, like, we'll re-sign them again. They just got to bring their wages down. We're not going to do that. And that's what he's saying. Like, you show us that you're worth, that we want to have you, and you bring that wage down, we meet in the middle, welcome back. But both sides have got to have some action on there. So, we'll see how that goes, right? Yeah, I don't know. Curious what your thoughts are. Let us know in the comments how you like that or how you feel about the comments by Yuri Mulder and your thoughts on the three players. Do you want them back even? Yes, no? Let us know.